Hello everyone, welcome back to Data Science with Yash. And are we gonna continue our discussion with respect to the Python series? In the last class, we have discussed about what is strings and the string methods. And in today's session, and today's agenda will be completely focusing on the list. We'll try to cover what is a list. We'll try to understand what is list and how do we create the list and how do we access the list items or retrieving the list items and how do we modify this and also the list methods we have and the slicing concept in case of list and how do we iterate over the list and the list comprehension most important topic and finally the nested list. So let us try understanding what is list. So before we go ahead, let's try to understand what is list. So basically these are the built-in data structures which holds the data that is enclosed in square brackets. So how do you define a list? So these are the data structures which hold the data. It will hold the data and that should be enclosed within the square brackets, right? And it consisting of mixed data type elements, like we can have the strings, integer, float, boolean or whatever all together, and can also be called as heterogeneous. And the repetitive elements are allowed in case of list. So we can have duplicate values. Let's say we have a value maybe 5 and we can now also have one more element or many such elements within the same list. That is duplications is allowed and these are ordered, right? And and the next point is these are mutable in nature. This means all the elements that are present in the list can be changed, can be modified, right? And then it supports insert, update and delete. And then as I said, the modifications are possible in case of list. And let us start understanding with practical examples. So I have created a list and have given an empty. I didn't insert any elements within this. And the very simple list that you can give an example is creating an empty list, right? And when I'm trying to print this, and you can see here, this is telling the class int, right? And next comes, try to understand this example. I have written here, a list can be created by putting the values inside the square bracket and are separated by comma, as I told. And here in specifically, I have given the mixed data type elements. I was talking about this point where I told that it consisting of mixed data type elements, right? So this is the example for this. So this particular list is having integers, it is having floats, and then it is having boolean as well as string, right? So this gives us clear cut understanding that the list supports the mixed data types. And let's cross check when I'm trying to print this and also check the type of this L1. See here, this is again a class int and I'm able to print this without any error. So this shows that list will be supporting the mixed data type elements, right? And the next concept is accessing the list items. How do we access the list items? How do we retrieve? Let's say we want to extract only this particular element, Yashwanth, maybe or 56 or 78 or anything. So this can be done by indexing and the slicing concept. And just imagine in your mind the output. We'll be discussing, we'll check the output here. We'll try to cross check. And here I'm specifying the list to and I'm specifying this column. In my previous class also I was discussing about this column. So what this column does is it tries to retrieve all the elements. It tries to give the output all the elements that are present in the list, right? And this L2, it is starting from the one index, that means maybe 56, and then it is going to till 89, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, and 3 is not included, so sorry. So 56 and 78 will be our output. And next, this is starting from 2, that means 78, until fourth position, that means 78 and 89. But I'm giving a step size of 2. That means I have to exclude one element. So 89 will be excluded, output will be 78. And similarly, in this case, first initially I started off with retrieving the element Yashwanth, and within this, I've trying to extract from 0th to third index, that is 0, 1, 2, that is YAS. So these are our outputs, and let's check by running this cell. You can see here this column is giving out all the values, and this is 1, 2, 3, 56 and 78 as I told, and this is again 78, and here this thing is extracting this first index element and then trying to get the first three characters from within this string. Clear? And next comes how do we modify the list elements. Modifying list elements is nothing but you are trying to place, or you are trying to, you can see here what I'm trying to do here is I have taken this particular list only, and I want the element Python at index position 1. Initially here the element is 56 at index position 1, but now I just want to modify it and I wanted to change the element to Python. Let's see. And when I'm trying to print this, you can see here at index position 1, this index position 1, right? In list or in Python, the index will be starting from the 0th position, and it will be different for our programming. In our programming it starts with 1, and here in Python it starts with 0. So this is 0 and this is the first index number element. Clear? And then how do we concatenate two lists? I've taken a list 1 and I've taken another list, and I'm trying to add both of this list, and I want both of these lists to be there in a single list, and this is what I'm trying to do. And when I'm trying to print this, let's see the output and check the type of list 3. You can see here both this list got concatenated, and as I told, I want to represent both in a single list, and this is the outcome, right? And then understanding how do we delete the elements. So delete statement can be used to delete an element from the list. Let's say I want to delete some particular, not the entire list, not one particular. This can also be possible, and the entire elements in the list can also be possible. It can also be used to delete all the items from the start index to end index. Clear? So see here. So list 3, we have elements these many, and I want to delete the element that is present in the list 3 and the second index. So 0, 1, 2. So in our output, this 7 must be deleted, right? So let's check. You can see here. You can see here there is only 1 7, whereas here we have 2 sevens, right? So this also shows that the list is mutable in nature. Clear? And then we'll try to explore some more list methods. And the very first one is append. So append method, which is used to append an element, single element at the end of the existing elements. Let's say we have these many fruits. I have created a list where I specified these fruits: apple, banana, cherry, kiwi, and guava, and I want to append a new fruit called orange, right? And what it does is it tries to append, or it tries to add at the end of this existing list. Let's cross check. So trying to run this first, and then I'm trying to append the orange. So you can see here this orange came to end of this list, right? And we have the next concept, insert. The insert method inserts the value at index position. That means it basically has two arguments. One is the position at which you want to insert and the element which you wanted to insert, right? It will basically take two arguments. One is the index position and the other is the element which you want to add at that particular index position. Clear? So initially we have banana at index position 1, right? So in this case, I want to insert watermelon at index position 1. See here? Clear? Right? And then next comes the remove, and I want to remove banana from this. I can use simply fruits dot remove, and I can specify the element name. Removes the first occurrence of an item. This means, what is the meaning of this? Let's try to understand. Let's say 0, 1, 2. At position 2, we have banana, and let's say there is one more banana that may be present at the end, maybe at sixth index or seventh index. And when I'm trying to use this fruits dot remove, what it does is it only removes the position number 2 banana instead of the sixth or seventh position. Understood? The first occurrence. This banana is the first occurrence, right? So removing the first occurrence of an item. Clear? In this example, we don't have the repeating fruit, but this is the concept. Clear? And the next understanding, what is pop? So pop method removes and returns the last object from the list. Clear? Let's say we have these many elements and I want to extract, or I want to remove this and return only the orange. So this is how you do. Created a new variable popped fruits and fruits dot pop. And when I'm trying to print this, you can see here orange. Orange is our last element, and here we are able to display. Clear? And then next is the count. So count method returns as many times the value occurs in the list. Here in case of apple, we have only one apple, right? There is no repeating apple here. So when I'm trying to use this function count, use this method, so you can see here there is only one such apple present, so we got the value as 1. Clear? And the extend, and this is also again important thing. So extend, the extend method appends the content of sequence to the list. It adds the multiple elements at the end of the list. Clear? So basically you have to understand the difference between append, extend, and the insert. I just want to quickly recap this. So append, what it does is it tries to add the element at the end of the list. Clear? And insert will have two arguments. One, the position at which you want to add that element, that is the index number, and the element which you want to add at that particular index, right? And the extend, what it does is it adds the multiple elements at the end of the list. So this is a question that you may get in the interviews, that you'll be asked. So try to understand this concept. So see here, fruits dot extend, I wanted to add these two elements together. So append can add only a single element, but extend can add multiple elements, and this can be given in the form of list, right? So this mango and banana got added within this list. Clear? And let's say I have a list 3, right? And I don't know the index number. I wanted to know this particular index number, list 3 dot index. So this index of 23 will give you the index number or the position, right? Fifth position. Let's check here. So 4 will be holding 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? And next comes the sort. So the sort method sorts the value of list, but type of elements in the list should be same, otherwise compiler will be throwing the type error. So we have the list 3 dot sort, and you can see here we are getting an error because within this list we have two different type of data types, right? We have string and we have integer. So to perform this sort operation, we first need to check that particular list should be of a single data type, right? So I have created one more list where I have taken exclusively only the integers, and I'm trying to sort this. By default, it sorts in ascending order, the smallest value to largest value. But when I'm specifying this reverse equals to true, is able to print in a descending order. Clear? And then you have fruits which are there in the string format, a single data type. And when I'm trying to sort this, you see here this may be a confusion. Why banana is first and apple is next? You can see here this is in capital letter. It first try to sort the capital letter once, and then it will go to the small letters. Clear? So fruits dot reverse is again, we're trying to reverse this particular list from end to first by using this reverse operation, right? And when I'm trying to clear this, we can clear the entire entire element that is present in the list. Clear? Next concept is the iterating over list. Iterating over list is again very important concept. Like how do we go iterate or retrieve the elements one after one within the list? We'll try to understand this. So basically, we have talked about the for loop and while loop. I hope this example is also clear if you are thorough with the concepts. So what I'm trying to do is for I in list 4, let's try to print what is list 4. Just a second. So list 4, right? So what I'm trying to do is for I in list 4, I want to print all these elements, right? So let's try, right? We got the same thing, clear? And let's say I wanted to know the index also, index along with this elements. I also wanted to know the index. And in Python, we have a built-in function called enumerate, which will also read the index number and gives us an output. So running this for loop for index comma I is again a temporary variable here. So for index comma I in enumerate, this is very important function, which will try to read out the which will try to give us the index number as well along with the elements that are present. So for index comma I in enumerate, I'm trying to print this index and I. Let's see the output here. So we are getting the index number 0, 1, 2, so on, right? So next we have list comprehension and we have nested list, right? We are left with the list comprehension and listed nested list, and this both will try to cover in the list comprehension nested list. We'll try to cover in the next session, and you need to explore these more and more. Definitely, at the end of the day, you need to practice more and more such examples. Only then you can be perfection with these concepts, right? And in coming session, we'll be discussing about the list comprehension and the nested list, which is very much important for interview purpose as well. And we'll try to cover more such examples on this list comprehension. We'll try to give extra time for this, right? So, and if you have any doubts regarding these concepts, you can feel free to ask me in the comment section, or also you can reach out to me in social media, right? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and stay connected. We're coming up with the advanced concepts, and day by day we'll try to increase the level of the concepts. Like we try to explore the advanced concepts day by day. Clear? Thank you.